beginners, we need to commit to 3 days per week at 45 minutes of resistance training. I don't care if you start with the little pink 3-pound dumbbells and slowly work your way from 30 rep sets to the 10-pound dumbbells at 15 rep sets to the 25-pound dumbbells at 5 rep sets. What we should do is the beginners should be training a version of a full body split. That would be your entire body trained with one exercise per movement. I'll explain this in a minute. Or you could simply use the upper lower body split. Now, let me explain. Let's say we are doing our resistance training beginners. Again, intermediate and advanced, there's other programs for you, so hang tight. Beginners. 30 minutes of walking in the morning, 3 to 5 days per week, followed by 45 minutes of resistance training 3 days per week. That resistance training, let's say it is full body training. That full body training would be, you would train a pressing motion, a pulling motion, a hip hinging motion, which is leaning forward at the waist, a bent knee or squatting motion, and some form of core activation. That's what the human body does at the base level. We push, we pull, we hinge, we squat, we resist, anti-resist rotation through the core. That's all we do. There will never be an exercise program that does more than that. Okay, so now you pick one exercise and we could have a vertical day and a horizontal day for our full body trainees. What would that be? I will do a overhead press with a dumbbell, a kettlebell, a barbell, a wobble bar, doesn't matter. An overhead press, and I prefer standing, overhead press, followed by an overhead pull. What is that? Well, that is a chin up. That is a pull up. That is a pull down. So I'm pushing something above my head, and then I am pulling on something above my head. Make sense? Push, pull. Then we look for a hinge type of movement. The hinge is going to work our glutes, our hamstrings, our lower back. I mean, there's a multitude of muscles that'll be involved, but these are the primary movers. So that would be a deadlift, a conventional deadlift, a high hip deadlift, a stiff-legged deadlift, a Romanian deadlift. We can do a single leg kettlebell deadlift. All great. We can do a good morning, a standing good morning, a seated good morning. All great. Pick one. So we do an overhead press. We do a pull down or a chin up. We do a dumbbell Romanian deadlift. We do a kettlebell goblet squat, working the squatting or the bent knee version of the exercise program. And then we do a V-up. Simple, laying on your back V-up. That's day one. Day two, full body once again. Now, instead of a vertical push-pull, we do a horizontal push-pull. We do a lying floor press with dumbbells. That's laying on the floor with dumbbells. And we do a dumbbell press. This is great for beginners because you don't overstretch your pec and your shoulder region. Your elbows can only go as low as the floor. Perfect. Then we stand up and we do a bent over dumbbell row. You can use the same darn dumbbells you just had there right there. For those of you who only have 15 or 20 or 25 or 30-pound dumbbells at home, that's fine. Do as many reps as you can with perfect form. I don't care if it's 10 reps or 40 reps. In the beginning, it's about getting full extension to full contraction. All right. You see that? So now we have the horizontal. Lying on our back. The lying floor press with dumbbells, the standing bent over dumbbell row, push, pull once again. But now, instead of the standing dumbbell Romanian deadlift. Google it. Now instead, we will do the unilateral, the single leg kettlebell deadlift with a straight leg kickback. Perfect. Excellent. Done deal. Now instead of the goblet bodyweight squat, we will actually do the Bulgarian split squat. So we go from a two-legged deadlift to a one-legged deadlift, a two-legged squat to a one-legged squat. Bulgarian split-legged deadlift is simply you kick one foot back, you put it on your kitchen chair, you put it on a bench, you put it on a pad, you have your training partner hold it at knee level. Simple. Training partner kneels behind you, you put your foot shoelaces on the top of their thigh. Works great, and there are a multitude of ways to do it. You could use a TRX strap, doesn't matter. And then you will do, to finish, bird dogs. Boom. And then you can just repeat. Then you go back to your vertical push press, then your horizontal push press. And you change from a two-legged hip hinge to a one-legged hip hinge, a two-legged squat to a one-legged squat. Your next one-legged squat could simply be a low, medium, high box step up with weight. Beginners, do you see how easy that is? So you're training your entire body, one exercise, and I would say 3 to 4 working sets of 15 to 30 repetitions as a beginner is going to be ideal. Make sense? That workout's 45 minutes and you're done. Warm up, cool down included. Whole body trained, and you're doing this every other day, 3 days a week. This is fucking awesome. I have some smoking hot clients who are busy as hell, high-level executives with families and good family people too. This is what they do because they're busy. They have 45 minutes, but they want to look smoking hot and be super fit and have great levels of energy. They get their little bit of cardio in, and they get their little bit of strength training in later on during their lunch break or later on in the afternoon, whenever they get it in. And they are more like, they get to the advanced level, and what they're doing is pretty serious with the weights. Guys and gals, healthy, fit, attractive, successful. They don't have to be bodybuilder bros. And the point is, you can be a high-level professional with an amazing family life, and you can still carve out 30 to 45 minutes once or twice a day and look after yourself. You are not too busy to be fit. Think about that. You are not too busy to improve your level of fitness. Now, intermediates, what you guys might want to do is you might want to do a push-pull split. You might want to, on Monday, just do your pushing muscles, upper, lower body. On Tuesday, just do your pulling muscles, upper, lower body. Wednesday, off of resistance training. Thursday, right back to it. Friday, right back to it. So you can do your upper vertical push-pull and your two-legged hinge and squat. Then and then the second half of the week, you can do your upper horizontal push-pull with your one-legged version of the hip hinge and squat. Make sense? So easy. Rep range, I would start to tap that down a little bit because now that you're a little more advanced, you're the intermediate now, you can start to pull that rep range back down. Instead of 15 to 30, you can actually be in that 8 to 20 range because you can handle the heavier weights with perfect form once you're in an intermediate. When you're a novice or beginner, you can't really do that yet. Your nervous system has not downloaded the correct software yet. That's all. It's much better to get more reps of quality technique than fewer reps of shitty technique, right? The more advanced you become, the better your technique is, the heavier the weights you can use and maintain that better technique. It's like, have a 4-year-old do a multiplication problem. they're probably going to fuck it up. Have a PhD do a multiplication problem, they can smoke it. They can do very advanced multiplication, very advanced mathematics as a PhD. Same thing with strength training. Don't be going maxing out on your bench press after training for 6 months. You should still be doing reps of 20 to 30. I know that's a little counterculture, but we think in the long term here. And I guarantee you my athletes will smash their athletes. Now we move on to the advanced. Advanced, this becomes a bit of hybrid because as advanced athletes, we've all built an appropriate amount of muscle tissue. We've all developed very specific sport skills and attributes. We've now become to max out our genetic potential. And this is what I want to talk to right now, how to add muscle over 40. So let's say you're over 40 years old and you've been dabbling with weightlifting. You weightlifted in high school a little bit. You weightlifted a little bit in your 20s, early 20s. You took some time off. Again, later 20s, you took some time off. You got married. You had the house. You dabbled again. You've probably put on about 20 pounds of muscle tissue, guys. And really, if you're drug-free, you can probably only add about 20 pounds of actual muscle tissue, not body weight, but real muscle tissue, functional muscle tissue. You probably only put on about 20 pounds over the course of a natural training life. Now, how can we add more tissue? Well, the first thing we need to do, guys over 40, is we need to reclaim that old tissue we once had and we lost. Because you might have gotten yourself up to 200 pounds, let's say. Pretty lean. Let's say you were 200 pounds at 15% body fat, which, don't kid yourself, most people have never been below 15% body fat over the age of 20. It's true. 15% body fat doesn't look bad. You're better than average for sure. Average body fat percentage is low 20s in modern men, which is despicable. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And we need to fix that. And we're going to fix that. And you know what? Dolce, that's so mean. I'm 22% body fat. How can you say it's embarrassing? Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You're embarrassed. You're not embarrassed? Take a photo of yourself. Send it to me right now so I can post it on my social media account. And I can ask everybody if you look like you're fit and healthy or should you be embarrassed. Honest answers only. Ooh, that changes. That changes the conversation a little bit, does it? Now, I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to love you with honesty. That is something too few of us get in our world. We don't get people telling us the truth. We get people telling us what they think we should say, what they think you want to hear, what we think won't hurt your feelings. I will tell you what you need to know. I don't want to hurt your feelings. But more than not wanting to hurt your feelings, I want you to be at your best, to feel your best, to look your best, to live your best. And I will say, as someone who was once at 35% body fat, so please, I was not healthy. I was not happy. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to take off my shirt. I was embarrassed to wear white t-shirts or gray t-shirts because you could see my nipples in not a flattering way. So I understand everything I'm saying to you, I'm saying from a first-person perspective. 15% body fat, you know what? You're going to look pretty good at 15% body fat, but we can do better. Because once we get below 15% body fat, we have reduced the percentage of all-cause mortality dramatically. Body fat above 15%, there is a high incidence of all-cause mortality. Body fat below 15%, the risk of all-cause mortality drops dramatically. Okay, that's all. Like that's the thing here, guys and gals. And ladies, that number is higher for you. Ladies, we want to get you into the lower 20s. Not to forget my ladies out there. there's about a 10% differential between male body fat and lady body fat. So whenever I say 15% for men, ladies think 25. When I say 10% men, ladies think 20. Ladies just add 10% to whatever body fat number I say to men, and that's exactly what I'm talking to you.